buying wheels and tires can be downright scary. Like, low-key, it's probably worse than being 16 and missing curfew a few times, except this time, you don't have like an extremely disappointed father to come home to. You just have to live with the crippling depression of knowing that you're the only one responsible for making the mistake here. If you've never done it before, it can be overwhelming to say the least. And while sure, the more you do it, right, the more you learn, there are still a few mistakes that even the pros make when it comes to buying tires. I'm Dustin, Dusty.co on Instagram, and today's video is all about some of those mistakes that even the pros are still making when it comes to buying tires and how you can avoid them. Let's get after it. First and foremost here, one of the biggest mistakes that even the most experienced tire buyers can make is buying based off of price only. Now, we get it, all right? We get the allure. It's like when you were a young adult and you finally moved out of the house at 18 years old and you really stuck it to the man, you're finally living on your own and you're making it work, you're paying your bills, and then you realize that, if you want to eat the food in your house, you have to go grocery shopping to put the food in your house. So you jump in the truck and you run down to the grocery store and you're wandering aimlessly through the aisles of your local store. You're bound to find a ton of options for the same damn thing. Like, why is there so many choices for peanut butter? What makes the great value version better or worse than the Jif? And where does Skippy fall into this whole mix anyway? In much the same way, tires can be broken out into different tiers based on things, like sidewall plies and rubber compounds and overall tread designs and warranties. Now, this is going to vary depending on who you ask, but the general concept here is that there's a good, a better, and a best option when it comes to truck tires. If you're looking for tires that fall into the maybe slightly better than good or better category, then you have a few options. Now, while the anti-dumping laws, the import tariffs, and the overall delays in supply chain has squeezed, quite honestly, a lot of the tires in this mid-tier area dry, there are still a few really good options if you're looking for truck tires this year. Take Venom Power, for example, right? Definitely not the most expensive tire on the market by any means, but for the money, they're just damn hard to beat. The Terra Hunter XT is the flagship tire for Venom Power and has absolutely dominated in 2020 and even into early 2021. Now, they did struggle with a few issues, but after some refined product development, some new quality assurance standards, and then just some good old-fashioned elbow grease, they're back stronger than ever here as we enter the new year, and they're downright ready to party. If Venom Power is the Skippy peanut butter of the tire world here, then the Nitto Ridge Grappler has got to be like the Jif ultra special fancy dancy label top shelf peanut butter that you can get at like the Whole Foods Market and only at the Whole Foods Market, and you have to ask somebody for it. It's not even on the shelf. Seriously, guys, when it comes to hybrid tires, there isn't another tire that stood toe-to-toe with the old Ridge Grappler and won. And while sure, inventory over the last year and a half has been challenging to say the least, the fact still remains that if you can get your hands on them, they're going to be a rock star tire for the money. This is why every single chance we get to grab every Ridge Grappler on the market, we do it. We know you guys love them, so we do our very best to keep them in stock for you guys and ready to ship to your door. Another big mistake that can get even the most experienced of tire buyers is not considering sizing and how that's going to fit before you order tires for your new truck. Now, allow me to explain, right? I'm as guilty as the next guy here, but when it comes to things like properly sizing tires for your truck, once you've done it once or twice, then you feel like you got it going on. You just know what you're doing. And while sure, if you're putting wheels and tires on the same platform truck, things don't really change a whole lot. A set of 35 1250 R20s is gonna fit on a white Cat-Eye Silverado pretty much the same as it's gonna fit a Greystone Silverstone metallic Cat-Eye Silverado. It's just the name of the game. Where guys get into trouble though is when they switch it up. Tire fitment on a Cat-Eye is significantly different than the fitment on, say, a 19 and up Silverado, for example, right? Because the axles are much narrower, and so
the tires are just tucked in, so a 12 wide looks like a 10 wide, a 10 wide looks like a 9 wide, 14 wide really only looks like a 12 wide, so if you want a lip, you gotta go 16 wides.
It's just tough. Now, not only can this give you a less than stellar look when it comes to your truck, but worse yet, it can get you into some trouble when it comes to things like rubbing and clearance issues. And sure, while you can trim plastics and some metals and stuff like that, you really only can trim so much, shy of like doing a full-on pie cut on the front of the cab and, boxing that all in and going through that stuff. The good news here is that before you even decide what wheels and tires you want for your truck, you can head on over to the gallery at customoffsets.com and view, no kidding, over 100,000 different custom trucks with all sorts of wheel and tire fitment information, as well as any details about if they trimmed and if it rubs and what kind of stance it has and what size lift kit they have and all sorts of stuff, plus see pictures of it actually on the truck. You guys can check that out by clicking the link down in the description. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a link. So like, it's down here. It's somewhere in this general area. Just go. Just click it. And perhaps the biggest mistake that even some of the most experienced tire buyers make when looking at a new set of shoes for their pickup truck is not getting them mounted and balanced for free when you pair them with a set of wheels from CustomOffsets.com. Now seriously guys, if you haven't already had the less than wonderful experience of trying to get your wheels and tires mounted and balanced, then let me take you for a walk, right? Let me walk you through 16-year-old Dustin the first time he got wheels and tires balanced. It was not fun. So you finally get your new tires, right? You've had the wheels and you got your new tires that showed up at your door, and now you have to somehow figure out how to get them to the tire shop in the first place, which means that you likely are gonna have to lug the wheels out of your basement because they were down there for a month, and then take the tires and load those into the bed of the truck, and then try and put the wheels in, and then play a giant game of Tetris to figure out where they belong, and hopefully they're gonna stay seated and that they don't come flying out on the highway when you're mobbing down the road, and strap them down really heavy, give them the old strap twang, say it's not going anywhere, and hit the highway, right? And then, that's not even the stressful part. And then you get to the tire shop, right? Behind the counter is a 16-year-old kid. It's his first day on the job that they left him alone, and he looks kind of scared, and you say, hey man, I need you to mount these 35s on these 24s. And he says, okay. And then you hand him $5,000 of your wheels and tires, and you just pray that he knows what he's doing. And then sometimes it works out great. But in a lot of times, your wheels end up scratched, the tires are mounted backwards, just stuff isn't right, and it's just not good. Trust me when I say that we do this every day, guys. We know the headaches. Let us save you that time. We'll mount them, we'll balance them, we'll ship them to your door for free. It's easy peasy. All you gotta do is put them on, or don't. I'm not your dad. I'm just trying to save you guys maybe some headaches and a pinched disc in your back from trying to lift 40s into the back of your truck bed. It's not fun. What are some mistakes that you guys have made when buying tires? Sound off down below in the comments. And if you guys need a new set of tires for your truck, make sure you check us out at CustomOffsets.com, where you can find tires in stock, ready to ship to your door in as little as 7 days. Peace.